Warriors. Dasarata. With a name like Dasarata, which means 10 chariots, you have to be in charge of something. Dasarata is the king of the warrior clan and rules over the kingdom of Kosola from the capital city of Ayodhya. He rules with 3 queens and 4 princes, one of whom is Rama. It sounds good being a king, but Dasarata carries a heavy burden from a young age that eventually causes his death. After sending Rama into exile, the guilt-ridden king falls gravely ill and is bedridden. When he awakens, he remembers an episode from when he was hunting as a young man. When he was out in the forest, he heard a sound that he thought was his prey and immediately shot an arrow towards the noise. But he was mistaken, and the arrow had struck down a boy named Shavana, the son of 2 blind parents. In their grief, the parents spoke a curse upon the king that someday he too would suffer the fate of losing his dearest son. The memory of the curse brings Dasarata's demise when he realizes that it has come to pass. Kausalya, the first queen and mother of Rama. So how does one give birth to an avatar of Vishnu? Well, according to legend, the gods delivered a fertility food to King Dasarata. The king gave half of the nectar to his first queen, Kausalya, while the remaining half was divided between Sumitra and Kaikeyi. It's said that since Kausalya ate so much of the nectar, it was her destiny to give birth to Rama. Sumitra, third queen and mother of twin boys, Lakshman and Satrogna. The gentle queen is the picture of poise and grace and stands for service and charity. Accordingly, Sumitra raises both of her boys to be in service of Rama and Bharata, which is exactly what they do. When Lakshman decides to join Rama in exile, Sumitra is proud knowing that if her son should die, he would do so in service of Rama. Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is the hot-headed second queen who banishes Rama to the jungle for 14 years. But it isn't all Kaikeyi's fault. The queen has a hunchback servant named Manthra, who makes up a lot of nonsense about how Rama and the first queen will send the second queen packing once he is crowned. Kaikeyi falls for the soap opera and gives Rama the boot the first chance she gets. Eventually, Kaikeyi realizes that she's been duped by Manthra and sends her packing too. Rama, the eldest prince of the capital city of Ayodhya and the son of the first queen, Kausala. Since Rama is also Vishnu's 7th avatar, the prince is driven by a purpose higher than the desire to be king. Rama's destiny is to rid the world of Ravana and his demon army. To fulfill this mission, the forces of fate conspire to send Rama directly into harm's way. But the Blue Prince proves time and time again that there is no obstacle that he can't overcome by simply following his divine mission and building bonds with the animals of the jungle. Vishnu's avatar is said to be the perfect man, so it's no surprise that Rama has been worshipped throughout India. Lakshman, Prince of Ayodhya Kingdom and stepbrother of Rama, no matter what Rama is doing, Lakshman is at his side, following his lead. Even after Rama is sentenced to exile, Lakshman can't bear to be separated from Rama and chooses to endure his brother's punishment along with him. At times a tad clingy, but extremely loyal, Lakshman will prove to be Rama's most important ally. The 2 brothers look alike, dress alike, and if Lakshman could have it his way, he would probably dye his skin blue. Bharata, brother of Rama and son of second queen Kaikeyi. Despite having a mother who exiled a god so her own kid could succeed, Bharatha does his best to honor Rama by placing Rama's sandals on the throne to wait for the true king's return. He successfully rules as Rama's representative for 14 years. He is so anxious for Rama to come back that he threatens to set himself on fire if Rama is even a day late. Luckily, the prince returns in time, and Bharatha welcomes him in fine fashion. Rama intends to make Lakshman his crown prince once he becomes king, but seeing Bharatha's devotion, he changes his mind and gives it to him instead. Bharatha is seen as a man of unparalleled virtue and devotion. Satrogna, prince of Ayodhya and son of the third queen Sumitra, since his twin brother Lakshman has more in common with Rama than with him, Satrogna finds affinity with his stepbrother Bharatha. The two brothers love clobbering each other with their swords and maces. One time, the prince even manages to clobber Mantra, Kaikeyi's servant, after learning she was spreading gossip. Sita, daughter of King Janak and wife of Rama. According to legend, Sita literally pops up out of a plowed field and caught the king's eye. The earth child is thought to be an avatar of the goddess Lakshmi, who is Vishnu's eternal sweetheart. I guess it makes sense that if Vishnu's going to be reborn as Rama, he is going to have his wife take the form of Sita. But despite her origins, the princess is both blessed and cursed with divine beauty, as it's her radiance that draws both Rama and Ravana to their great war. Deeds of Rama. Rama and Lakshman were inseparable. As they grew toward adulthood, they were both recruited by an old sage, a Barishama named Vishvamitra, who could see into the past and future and predicted a special mission for the duo. The Rishi, a high level of Brahmarshi, or sage, wasted no time and began training his young recruits on how to harness the Devastras, weapons of the gods. He also taught them divine mantras and asanas that gave the young warriors profound strength and mental focus. One day during their trainings, they visited Vishvamitra's ashram only to find that it was plagued by a demon named Tataka. The rishi explained that due to his vow of nonviolence, he could not take up arms against the demon. Instinctively, Rama drew back his bow, and the disrespectful demon was soon vanquished. As Vishvamitra performed last rites for the slain demon, he explained that Rama's actions that day would have ramifications in the future and cautioned him to always be mindful of his duty. Break a bow, tie the knot. Before returning his two pupils to their kingdom, the rishi had another vision, which led him to travel with the princes to the neighboring kingdom where an auspicious test was being conducted. The challenge was to lift the bow of Shiva, a feat that only a god could accomplish. After hundreds of noble warriors tried and failed, Vishvamitra politely asked Rama to try. In a single motion, the blue prince placed his hand on the bow and lifted it high over his head. He quickly strung the bow, but as he pulled back, it snapped and broke into pieces. Luckily, this accident was considered a miracle and was cause for great celebration, as whoever was able to lift the bow would also win the hand of the princess Sita, who was actually an avatar of the goddess Lakshmi. Rama and Sita. Sita's father immediately dispatched his fastest messengers to Rama's kingdom to report the good news and invite his royal court to a wedding. Upon hearing the announcement, Rama's father and his three queens made their way to the neighboring kingdom, accompanied by a grand procession. All of the guests watched as the enchanting princess placed a garland of flowers around Rama's neck, and together they circled a ceremonial fire 7 times. Thus, they were married, and both kingdoms rejoiced. Rama's father was so pleased that he announced his retirement and proudly declared Rama and Sita the new king and queen. The royal couple lived happily ever after. Well, not quite. Exile. Kaikeyi, one of Rama's stepmothers, decided that her own son, Bharata, should be the next king and hatched a plot to do away with the Blue Prince. The jealous queen wasn't violent, but she was manipulative and reminded the king of the 2 wishes he had granted her for saving his life in battle. The crafty queen immediately spoke her wishes and demanded that Bharata be made the new queen and that Rama be exiled to the jungle for 14 years. Despite his love for his favorite son, the king was a man of his word and honored his promise to the queen. Rama was stripped of his crown at once and commanded by his father to be exiled from the kingdom. Rama calmly accepted his fate and headed out for the jungle. Fortunately, the prince wasn't alone, for both Sita and Lakshman were at his side. Sadly, soon afterward, this chapter of Rama's youth came to a close when his father, consumed by guilt, died of a broken heart. Royal rescue. Eventually, the 3 reached a forest called Chikrakuta, where luckily there was no sign of demons. But before they could settle in, Lakshman spotted a royal procession led by Bharata, who had returned home from a neighboring kingdom after hearing the news of his father's death. He was horrified to find that his mother had banished Rama from the kingdom. Rama was happy to see his stepbrother, who fell at his feet and begged him to return to the throne. But Rama would never break a promise or disobey the order of his father. Bharata was amazed with Rama's integrity and was more certain than ever that Rama was the rightful king. Bharata announced that if Rama would not be king, then no one would be. He then politely removed Rama's sandals and explained that he would place them upon the throne where they would wait for the true king to return. Sacred shoes. Under a cloud of gloom, Bharata returned to his kingdom and kept to his word. He placed Rama's sandals upon the empty throne to act as a symbol of Rama's rule. Bharata and Satragna then left their court and began their own exile, determined to wait out the 14 years until Rama could return. Swindled out of his kingdom by a jealous queen and stripped of his sandals by her guilt-ridden son, Rama prepared himself for a rough road ahead.